People are staying there to see whether or not they can do it today and tomorrow. And if they don't do it, we will send in the National Guard and we'll take care of it. A lot of very tough people. And these are not people that just have to guard the courthouse and save it. These are people that are allowed to go forward and do what they have to do.
These pictures very recently in from Portland, where Black Lives Matter protesters have been gathering again over the past few hours. The city's protests are partly inflamed by the presence of federal militia and their increasing use of force. President Trump's been accused of abusing his power by sending them in. The nationwide arrest in the wake of the death of George Floyd has stretched into its third month now, occasionally turning violent in Minneapolis, in Seattle, New York and other major cities. Well, back to Portland. Here's how it looked 24 hours ago.
Today, nationwide protests against police brutality and racial injustice rage on. Just hours after Oregon's governor announced a phased withdrawal of federal officers from Portland.
This is a gradual withdrawal from Portland.
Dozens of officers filled city streets in the largest visible response by the federal government to downtown demonstrators. Chaotic confrontations caught on camera. Department of Homeland Security and CBP officers seen firing tear gas and rubber bullets at protesters gathered near the federal courthouse.
That's still in my leg.
One demonstrator seen here, bleeding from injuries in both of his legs.
I'm getting shot for just because I don't want racism to exist.
Others facing off with demonstrators at several points throughout the night. Standoffs in the state unfolding every night since the death of George Floyd in May. Unrest only intensifying since federal agents were deployed by the Trump administration to protect the downtown courthouse. The president taking aim at the governor, tweeting, "Kate Brown, governor of Oregon, isn't doing her job. She must clear out and in some cases arrest the anarchists and agitators in Portland. If she can't do it, the federal government will do it for her. We will not be leaving until there is safety." This while federal prosecutors in Milwaukee work to dispel concerns that federal agents, a part of President Trump's Operation Legend, are heading to their cities to disperse demonstrations, as seen in Portland.
In Milwaukee, no personnel from the Department of Homeland Security will participate in Operation Legend.
Meantime, demonstrations in Seattle are growing increasingly violent. Police declaring the protest a riot, saying demonstrators were throwing bottles and explosives toward officers. And in New York City, outrage is mounting over a controversial arrest of a demonstrator. Video captures the moment plainclothes NYPD officers grab an 18-year-old transgendered woman, now identified as Nikki Stone, and force her inside of an unmarked van. Some witnesses say that it looked like a kidnapping. Governor Andrew Cuomo criticizing the arrest, saying, "I'm surprised that, especially at this time, the NYPD would take such an obnoxious action. It was wholly insensitive to everything that has gone on."
Now, the NYPD says that Stone was initially wanted for damaging police cameras and spray painting property. However, she has since been released with a desk appearance ticket. That means she has to appear before a New York criminal judge at a later date. Meantime, lawmakers are calling for an investigation into the incident, saying that it mirrors the kind of arrests that are being made in Portland by federal agents. Reporting in New York, Trinity Chavez, RT.
And in New York, this is what's been happening. Scuffles between police and activists on Wednesday. Officers were deployed near Madison Square Park to try and block the protesters there. Heated scenes elsewhere in the US. In Springfield, Illinois, it's reported at least 2 protesters were arrested at a rally. Police officers were seen using security barriers at one point too to stop demonstrators from advancing.